actually answered the question. Let me see if I can find it. Where was it? Okay, we started on number Lamed Ches. Let me bring my camera down. Okay, and Lamed Tes was we could read it again. I mean, I did it yesterday, but it has the punchline in it this time. So he says, here's the third beer. He says, Yesh l'tzad l'chore b'divrei alukute kutim amuvu b'bira grua kan. So I think this is where we started, or maybe it wasn't. Where were we?
Yesterday we were back.
We're
in Kufra.
Yeah, Tuf Kof Lamed Vav, number Daled.
No, you were in Kufra Aleph yesterday, beginning of the paper. You want to go back to the back?
Sifra Tzniut, I was at the beginning of it yesterday.
Yesterday you went back to the
to try to quote,
and
right?
That was there.
All right, well, let's go to Taf Kuf Lamed Vav in the Biurim, the Otzer Biurim.
Yeah.
I might be a little bit mixed up. Let's see, because we went to number Lamed Tes. Yeah, we went to number Lamed Tes. Where is Lamed Tes? Okay. Now, okay. Where I was saying was really pretty much where we were. That would be on Taf Kuf Lamed Hey. I hope. So let's start on. It was on number Lamed Ches. Let's go down to the bottom paragraph on that page at the very bottom in the notes. Whoa, get down even lower. Okay, so he says like this word amnam. I hope we're in the right place now. So the question is going Yud Beis Shaos Alaylo de Elef Ashdi. Is that the right one? 1 second. Yud Beis Shaos Yom. I really lost track, but I don't have a good mark on where we stopped. Okay, so let's just do that part from there, and I'll just try to pick it up as best I can. What can I say? So he says, Amnam, Rei Masha Kasavno Od Baha'aros. So as we get into the Aros over here, the Bir Hamashulav Sham, Shaniva the Var. So the question is what does he mean by Yud Beis Shaos? And he wants to say he had been saying that the concept of the Maslos, he had these Maslos in the Sod of Zeranpin, and then he had the actual Cheshbon of that, which is 12, appearing in Malchus. He's been talking like that. So the question is that what does Shaos have to do with this? Why is it called 12 hours? So we put on the idea that, well, the milui of the word Adni, which is Malchus, is 12. So that could be, it's like 12 streams coming out of Malchus. Amnam Rei Masha Kasabno Od Baha'aros Labir HaMishulav Yisech B'Sham Shenira the Barba Kavonas Divrich HaLikudim Ba'ufen Acher. He said, V'hu Sheyesh Beis Bechinos Be'inyad Yud Beis Shaos. There's two different things in regards to the 12 hours. What are they? Shehem, let's go. Shehem Aleph Bebechinos Zaman. One of them has to do with the concept of time. The Heinrich call Elef Shana, the whole 1,000 years that we're talking about, Nechshav Yom Echad. It's considered to be like one day. So what he says, 1,000 years is like a day. Now, kind of we saw something like that before. Sheyesh Bohov Yud Beis Shalos, Vehev Yom Shabbos Yom, V'Yud Beis Shalos Laila. That's one way of looking at it. So it has to do with that time. So Besod HaMalchus HaNikras Sha'a, which is the secret of Malchus. Malchus is called Sha'a. Now I'm going to translate this as time. Sheyesh Bo Bechinas Yud Beis Shaos, because it has 12 different hours, which are 12 times. Okay, I'm trying to make the metaphor work, so maybe I won't call it times right now. So he says it has 12 hours. The Malchus after Yeshba Gam came base Bechinos. It also has two Bechinos. Shel Yud Beis Shaos of 12 hours. Shehem Yud Beis Shaos Yom, the Yud Beis Shaos Laila. Okay? Ki Elef Hashavihi B'Shecha B'Churban, so that 12, that seventh millennium, which is the concept of total destruction, who sowed Yud Beis Shaos, that millennia is the secret of the 12 hours of the nighttime, Shel Malchus of Malchus. So he said, so Malchus is, let's say, Malchus compared to Zeranpin or the Yisod is considered darkness. Then you come to Elef Shmini, Shel Chiddush V'Tikun, which is when the world we understand is going to be renewed and rebuilt. That's going to be the 12 hours of the daytime, Shalom Malchus. So he says, if you start talking about time, there is in the count of the third, the 7,007th millennia, Levad, Shir Yud Beis Shaos Yom, Yud Beis Shaos Laila. So he says in the 7th millennia, so you could also say that it's divided into a day and a night. First he said the 7th millennia is night, so let's say it's night in relationship to the 8th millennia, which is day. But now he's coming and saying, but you could also say it like this, that the 7th millennia itself is a day and a night. But the Nechshav Elef Shana, so therefore it's considered to be 1,000 years. Now that didn't quite fit in the way I explained it, but let's go on. V'zecher kavanas Rabbeinu b'siyam devara b'lekutei sham, and this is what the Rabbeinu said. The Nimsa she'elef hashni, the 7,000 years, heim shir kad shaus. Okay, we got that word, 12, it's 24 hours. That is, it's a yom and it's a laila. Mitzad hazman, but that's a yom and a laila in regards to the concept of time. Now, what does that mean? Because we have that here. V'yud beis shaus laila bilvad mitzad chelki hamalchus, so the 12 hours of the nighttime are going to really be talking about the portion of which is malchus. Ovazeh asi shafer. So this now starts making sense. So there apparently there's no contradiction, but he says, here's what he said. So what he's really explaining here should be called Elef Shana, that every one of these 1,000 years, Yesh Sishir Zaman, it's bound by time. It has a certain amount of time. Lila V'Yom Shehem Kad Shaus, and that is that it divides into 12 hours, and 12 hours, which is 24, Kad Shaus. So he's Ba'adir B'Maron, the move of L'Cholon, Shabir Ubukal Elef Shana Yesh Rak Yud Beis Shaus Yom. So over there he says there's only 12 hours. Ein Sham time of B'Milsa. So he said, so look at what we'll talk about later on. Sham Mashahuva Be'inyan Zeh B'Shem Pirkei the Rebbe Eliezer B'Chazoyer B'Raman B'Chsam Sofer. Chsam Sofer got into this also. Now exactly what I was looking for, I didn't find it. So, but I at least the way I read it the last time, what happens in the 7th millennia, as you recall, that he had this word, the onhaga of the world, the way the world works, is going to be mevatel. We'll go on and we'll see more of this, but Hashem is going to be mevatel. And now he's telling us that what is going to be mevatel is time. Time is going to stop. So I often think about people who will pass away, that basically time stopped by them. Because the time, we keep moving forward. In other words, the world keeps turning. But there could be such a time as which it stops. And at that point, at that point, everything is, all the way the world works is going to be based on time. It's going to stop. Well, let's go on to number Lamed Tes. I guess I have to read in the Pirush itself from Lamed Ches. And Lamed Ches says, V'hu, he says, V'hu Chetzer Rishon Shel Elef Hashvi, so that the first half of the 7th millennia, Nikra Tracer Shati, it's called 12 hours, Shehem Yud Beis Shalos Alayla, which are the 12 hours of the nighttime. For Ha'inyan, the Inyan, rather, he called Elif Shana Mischala the Shnei Holokim, every 12,000 years, every 1,000 is divided into 12 different parts. Laila V'Yom, and those 12 different parts would be considered to be, let me just read it back. Inyan Hu Ki Kol Elif Shana Mischala the Shnei Holokim is divided into two parts. Laila V'Yom, day and night. Shehem Kad Shaos, which is Hurban Anal, so the destruction that we're talking about, Yehia Bechetzia Rishon Shel Aleph Hashvihi, will be in the first half of the 1,000 years. Shehem Yud Beis Shalos Rishonos Shel Bechinas Laila. So that the 12 hours, once again, the word Shah, Rishonos Shel Bechinas Laila. So this is where the destruction or the elimination will come in, and now we're on number Lamites. So let me get Lamites over a little bit more over here. We'll come down a little bit more, make it a little easier to see it. Okay, so now it says number Lamites. He said because of Mitzanda of Babir Noisib Sof Sifra Ataras Svi Sham, and he says like what the Af Shebakol Elef Shana, that also that we see in every 1,000 years Yesh Kad Shaos Shal Laila V'Yom. Now he puts it Laila V'Yom. But in the 7th millennia, there's only 12. This is what he says. Betracer Shati, because the Rav himself wrote Betracer Shati. Yom HaCharav, this is the day of destruction. Our guess of, Kamai Mazal, like the rabbi said, V'chad Charav. B'yom hazeh asher ku lo who lo yom v'lo lilo b'vadai ein bo ki im yud beis shalos. So he wants to get the idea versus the 24-hour idea. Okay, we're moving on up at the top now. Now we're going yud beis shalos hayom shir elef. So how do you get that to work out? So I have, this is the place I think that I was supposed to be learning, but I get mixed up. Number Dalit, he said, Bibir Dalit, he said, Ray Ba'ad B'marim. So over there, what did we learn? What was in that whole little piece, that little piece right here is the concept either is 24 hours or it's 12. But whatever it is, it's evolved around the concept of 12. So is it Yud Beis Shalos Yom Shir Aleph? So how's that work out? He says, a beer Dalit, here's the fourth beer. Ray Ba'ad B'maram, he said, the call Elef Hashvi, that all of the 7th millennia, Yeshbo Tracer Shasi, it has 12 hours. Shuhu Shir Elef Shalom, it's a complete 1,000. Ki B'kol Elef Shana, Yesh Rak Bechinas Yud Beis Shalos Yom, you only have 12 hours of the day. V'hainu Ki Yud Beis Shalos Alayla, Heim B'klal Yud Beis Shalos Yom. Okay, because you could say the word Yom means day and night, and so therefore you say there's 12. So that's what that means. Let's look over here at number Mem. Number Mem says, he says, Ray Baharis Behemshech Shuhu V'Divra Adir B'Marom B'Bir Tam Hadavar. So he's explaining what's going on here. Let me get this in the wrong place. And let me bring it up better. He says again, Ray Baharis Behemshech Shuhu Divra Adir B'Marom B'Bir Tam Hadavar. So what's he getting at? He said, Nirla El, he said, the Das Hagroa, the Kudish should be called Elef Shana Yesh Lada V'Yom Shehem Kad Shaos. So he says that the Groa says there's 24 hours there, Ein Sham. V'chein Nirha Be'itras at Tzvi, Atar Tzvi, he said, Be'in and Zera Be'rei Od, B'shari Tshuva, he says, Hasam Sofer, about the Chasam Sofer, B'shayos and Tshuvas of the Chasam Sofer, he's in this argument too. Al Rambam. I don't know what this phrase is. Al Torah. I don't know. Al Torah. Yeah. The sheet is a Rambam b'mashva, but the call Elef Shana. So he said every 1,000 years Yesh Rak Yud Beis Shalos Yom. But the sheet is a Chasam Sofer Yesh b'kol Elul Shana Laila V'Yom Shehem Kad Shaot. So Zel Shana now is going to quote the Chassam Sofer. So it's nice that we got the Chassam Sofer in here. Zel Shana the Chassam Sofer, he says, let me get B'Chassam Sofer Sham. He says Orer al Divir Ramban. I guess he's going to argue about it. He said the Parshas Bereshis al Pasuk Asher Bar Elokim La'asos. So what's pshat over there? That phrase. Shekasi b'yom hashishi v'biker, that he says in the sixth day in the morning. V'akre asiriso kashir hanetz achama. So after the asiriso, it's 10th hour. Kasher hanetz achama, when morning comes. Yavo hagoel, that's when the Redeemer will come. V'yihye zeh kuf yud ches shonim, that will be 118 years. Achrei he olafim, after the 5,000th year. V'tema Rabbah, so this makes a big question. He said, ki shokach hayom shekoach hayom cholek achra alayla, because really the day follows after the nighttime. V'hi erev, that's what it said. V'hi voker. Nimsi ki tav kuf shanim, the 500 years of Rishonim shal elef hashishi, heim bebechidas alayla. That's what we call the Lila. Now, what he got over there, I didn't really understand that part. He says it's going to be in the 100th and 18th? What do you say? Where is that? I'm not good at going backwards. I lose patience going backwards. At any rate, so let's go back over that. Again, he said the Nimsa, the Getav Kuf Shanim, a Rishonim shall Elef Ashihi Heba Bechinas Alayla, Shuhu Erev Shal Yom, which is really what we call the era of the beginning of the day, but it's the era of the Yom Shishi Shal Bria, which is the beginning of the sixth day. So then after that, you had the time where the animals, or the creatures, were created. Namtim od ad akra netzachama. So if you wait a little bit more until after netzachama, the kind of kiso kashemesh. So if this phrase, apparently it's a phrase in Tehillim. He says v'kiso. I guess it means thrones, like the sun. He said hu asiris hayom, which is the 10th hour of the day. Im came yihya al kol panim. After Tov Kuf Nun Shanim, after I think I must have read it wrong over there. After 550 years, Al Elef Ashishi, of the 6th millennia, he said Ad Khan. So what of the 550 years, if you're counting that way, would be, I don't know where that is. So that's what Beck. It's like we're in Tov Shin. So we're in 5-7, so it's like 200 years ago, the time of the Gra and the Chassam Sofer. So I'm not sure exactly what he was saying. He's trying to pin down the numbers. Of the Inyan Zecharam Rei Gam Bezoar, the Mavur Medas of Ramban, Va'ad B'maram of Zelashono, of a Shiz Meir Shnin the Shisisa. When you get to the count of 600 years in the 6th millennium, Yispatku to Roy the Chochmas of the Elul, what's going to happen is that the gates of the upper Chochma are going to open. Umavoy the Chochmas of the Tzad. There will be a stream of Chochma going downward. V'yistaken Amal Allah B'Shvi, and it will actually start fixing up the world so that there will be an elevation into the 7th millennium. The Gavar Nash, now that's very interesting. The mistaken b'yoma shasitzo, and so man Adam Arishon, who was really put together on the 6th millennium, on the 6th day. So I can't quite reach them. Mechi erev shimshach Allah b'shabsa. So I guess it's really at the point that's getting very close to Shabbos Adkan. So we're like at that place right now. Levicha b'mikdash melech, it says of the V'sham v'zel v'shano. Mekan Nirish Chetzi Yom Shishi Rock Tov Kuf Shan is only 500 years. For Chetzach Hasheni Haim Tov Kaf Acherim, that's another 500 years. But the Chaim B'Shiz Mech Shanim. So in the 600 year, Arav Shimshach b'Shavsa. There you're going to start getting the sun, which is, I don't know, he says there's going to be a mixing. Let's say a Arav will be mixed, the Shimshach law b'Shavsa, to go into Shabbos. Ki niknasu b'chetzi yom hashishi, because it starts, or it enters in, with the second half of the 6th millennium. Samach l'Shabbos, near the time of Shabbos, which would be the 7th millennium, Ad Kan. Now, exactly what we're getting there, I'm not sure. The time of b'mikdash melech sham, and he brings it, flushes it out a little better. He said that the fiza leil shishi elo oila b'shem. The 6th night, it doesn't. He said the 6th night doesn't have a name. Ki nehoreg imei sar us. I don't know. Ki nehoreg imei sari. Sorry. So he says, I don't know this word sorry. Ki nehora ime sorry. So, huh?
Sorry with the shin. It's a pasuk.
Okay, what's the pasuk mean? Ki nehora ime shari.
The light rests with him. Yishores, to rest.
Oh, beautiful. Ki nehora ime shari. The light with him rests. So what does this mean? So he said that going forward, the night becomes like day. So now he's trying to explain the concept of 12. Why you have 12 one way, 12 another way. So he says it's really a mixture. Let me read it again. See, he said ki nehora imei shari. So the light, what you say is, if this is lashon shiros, or it's permitted or comes along with him. So therefore, the night starts mixing in with the day. So it also says this over there. And what does he say? As Yisrael Elisha Achas, we only really serve the Mitzrim for 1 hour. Miyom Mishal L'Kudsha Barichu, that is, if you're counting the days of the Kodesh Baruch Hu, Shemanim V'Shlosh Shmonim V'Shlosh Shana, which is 803 years. Shmonim, 83 years, except Shana. Kodem Shenovid Moshe, betime the time that Moshe was there. So he said that 83 years that we had like that. He says, let me read again. Lo Revicha Mitzrayim as Yisrael Ela B'Shah Achas Miyomach Shal Kodesh Baruch Shemanim Shmonim V'Shlosh Shana, which is 83 years Kodesh Shenovid Moshe. That's that 1 hour. That's 1 hour. Min Yud Beis Shalos, the Aleph, the Aleph. This is 1 hour of the 1,000 years. Shahu 83 and a third. Let's see, if he wants to say you take 12, you divide it by 1,000. You divide 1,000 by 12, you're going to get 83 and a third. And he said, yesh kaf dalad shalos la'ala. So if it turns out to be 24 hours to 1,000, says azai sha achas hu mem aleph ubei shlishi, then there would be a different cheshbon. It would go like that. If it was 24, it would be half of that amount. So, okay, that's it for today. Okay, thank you very much.